Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for pushing that play button. I'm glad you're a part of the channel. If you are not a part of the channel, please subscribe and please push that bell button. Today's video is actually sponsored by Adam Polishes. They are my currently new sponsor. If you do use their products or have any interest in buying their products, please go down in the description below. There are some links to some of the products that I use. Click on those links. It will send you directly to the products or any products at all regarding to Adams. And you can certainly purchase those products through those links. For everyone that asked me in the past, how do I get my car to be so clean? How do I get the shine on it? Well, Adams Polishes is exactly what I use. Some of you have been asking me, are there any more events I plan to attend before the end of the year and before I garage my Corvette? And I do plan to be at VIR, which is Virginia International Raceway, on November 30th. It's a charity day. You can give back. Pretty much we'll be on the track, pretty much tracking our cars. You're more than welcome to come. Once again, it's November 30th, Virginia International Raceway. It's going to be a great day. I'm looking forward to going. I want to give a shout out to Ken for bringing this information to my attention as well. But today's video is about the C8 Mid Engine Corvette and some cars that could be in the same price range or can be a competitor for the C8 Mid Engine Corvette. If the Corvette C8 is $170,000, then these are its rivals. Till this day, GM still refuses to admit that the C8 Corvette is around the corner. Till this day, we still do not know the pricing of the C8 Mid Engine Corvette. Until this day, we still don't know exactly what the C8 Mid Engine Corvette will look like. But what I do know is if the C8 Mid Engine Corvette, or whatever they may call it, costs $170,000, well, I found some cars that is going to be in the same price range as the C8 Mid Engine Corvette, if not cheaper than a Mid Engine Corvette as well. So let me tell you two things that I read regarding $170,000. Number one, that is completely out of GM's norm to price out their current Corvette buyers, especially the base model. But there was something else that I read that could possibly put this car at $170,000, which is where else can you find a mid-engine car that's less than $100,000? Think about that. As you think about buying a car that costs $170,000, here's a question for you. Will you be willing to spend your hard-earned money on a mid-engine car that costs less than $100,000? So I wanted to show you a photo or an image of the rendering, the latest rendering that I've recently came across. And I do like it. I do think it looks similar to some of the ones I've seen in the past. But before I go ahead and get into more information about the C8, I definitely want to go ahead and give you some information on some other cars that may be able to compete with the C8 as far as performance goes and in pricing. So here what we have in front of us is an Acura NSX 573 horsepower 3.5 LT V6 hybrid engine, and it will cost you $159,300, which is the MSRP on this Acura NSX, which tells me that this car is actually cheaper than the C8 Mid Engine Corvette if the C8 Mid Engine Corvette comes in at $170,000. Now, once again, we do not know how much horsepower the C8 Mid Engine Corvette is going to come with. I do think it will be around 500, but I don't think it's going to be 573. So this Acura has a twin-turbo V6, which is combined with 3 electric motors, making the NSX basically an all-wheel drive rocket ship, with both on the straight line and on the track. We have heard that GM will have a surprise for us on the C8 Mid Engine Corvette, but no one knows what the surprise is. Could it be an all-wheel drive? Question mark. So let's go ahead and hop into our second vehicle of the day, which is this Audi R8 532 horsepower 5.2 LT V10, and it costs about $165,000. So here we have another car that's pushing 500 and some horsepower, which still doesn't have as much horsepower as the NSX, but costs more than an NSX, and it has a V10, which, let's go back to my point before, that the C8 Mid Engine Corvette will cost $170,000 and it may have just only 500 horsepower. I can definitely say that Audi has proven to be one of the most exciting supercars on the market, offering superb performance together with $1 million soundtrack, courtesy of the market's only naturally aspirated V10 engine. So here we have it. Here's our second car that's costing less than $170,000, that's pushing at least a minimum of 500 or more horsepower and still has a proven track record of great performance. Do we currently have any Audi fans on the channel? So now let's go ahead and hop into one of the cars I think that you can buy that is super fast, super awesome, and looks really good, which is our third vehicle today, the McLaren 570. The McLaren 570 has 562 horsepower, a 3.8 LT V8, and it costs almost $190,000, which is 20 grand more than the current C8 if that's what they say it's going to cost. We all know that McLaren definitely has a proven track record. The McLaren's entry-level model is easily by far the most expensive in this group. Let's face it, there's lots of people out there that's willing to shell out an extra cash in order to have this carbon chassis mid-engine supercar with the McLaren badge on it. And to be honest with you, let's face it, a lot of people love McLarens. They truly, truly do. They will stand behind their brand. And we got a couple of friends, a couple of YouTube channels who definitely have McLarens on their channels without a doubt, whether it's the 570 or the 720. And if I was to ever get to that point to where I was able to afford a McLaren, which I doubt I would, I already have picked out my McLaren name, which is the McLarens. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Let's go ahead and hop into our fourth vehicle of the day. So here we have our fourth vehicle of the day, a Mercedes AMG GTR pushing 577 horsepower, 4.0 LT V8 engine, which could cost you $157,000. So yet again, we have another car that has a proven track record that also comes in at less than $170,000, which they say the mid-engine may cost, and it will get you 577 horsepower. And let's face it, if you go back and look at all the other cars that I mentioned earlier, which is the NSX, the Audi, and the McLaren, this Mercedes AMG comes in with more horsepower and less money. The Mercedes AMG GTR. The German hot rod has the focus and the speed to be compared with much more of an exotic, more expensive car, as proven by its lightning fast laps on the world's most challenging tracks ever. Now let's go ahead and hop into our fifth car today. I saved the best for last. Why? Because we have a lot of Porsche fans out there, and this is a Porsche 911 Turbo that's pushing 540 horsepower, 3.8 LT, that costs you about $161,000. Well, let me give you some reason why I saved this car for last. I have met and heard a lot of people will say if the mid engine Corvette costs $170,000, well, they're going to buy a Porsche. We all know Porsche has been around for many years, and they also have a proven track record of the Porsche 911 Turbo. I've heard lots and lots of good things about a Porsche 911 Turbo. I have personally never got a chance to drive one. I don't know if I would actually be able to fit inside of a Porsche 911 since I am 6'2", but I heard a lot of great things about this car. The 911 Turbo is one of the best sports cars out there in the world, period, according to what lots of people say. It might not be the sharpest 911 for its GT models, but it doesn't stop the Turbo from offering the world-dominating driving pleasure and the mind-boggling levels of performance, whether you're on the track or in your favorite back road. One thing they say about this Porsche GT is that if you don't feel like driving fast, this car offers good ride quality, great visibility, and plenty of comfort for your drive. Another reason why I left this car for last is because one thing that I actually heard and actually saw is that Chevrolet is trying to tap into the Porsche market. They're saying, from what I've read, that the Porsche 911 is the market they're trying to tap into. They're trying to get some of the Porsche customers come over to their brand. And I mean, the last time I saw a C8 Mid Engine Corvette video, there was a Porsche 911 following the C8 Mid Engine Corvette. This was at the time when the car was actually wrapped with a lots of camouflage and all that good stuff. So definitely subscribe to the channel because I would love to have you. But I have 3 questions to ask you before you leave this video. Will you pay $170,000 for a C8 Mid Engine Corvette? Number 2, if you're not willing to pay $170,000 for a C8 Mid Engine Corvette, will you buy one of the other cars that was listed in this video? And number 3, my final and last question, which I think will be a good question. Do you think after seeing all the prices of these other possibly mid-engine cars we have in this video, do you think the C8 mid-engine Corvette will cost over $100,000? Once again, thank you for pushing that play button. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you, Adams, for actually sponsoring me. I'm so happy to have you guys as my sponsorship. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do, y'all. Please, I would love to have you part of the community. I would love to have you grow with us and take you on this journey with us around the world. My goal at some point is to hopefully get a C8 Mid Engine Corvette on the channel. That way I can kind of travel across the world, get all my followers to see it. And you all know I love meeting people more than anything in the world. So definitely subscribe to the channel. Also, if there's any videos you would like to see me do, please post your comments down below, even answering the questions as well. Answer all the questions and comments down below. But if there's any videos you would like to see me do, please place those comments down below. You are also more than welcome to go down in my description, click on the links down at the bottom, and that will send you directly to any Adams product you would like to purchase. Regardless of what kind of product it is, you can buy the Adams products by going down in my description below and clicking on the link.